my work. And, where a podcast still has a unique opportunity, separate, much different from a dramatized crime TV show to really educate, we're still within a time constraint. Most of the time my episodes are 35 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes at the high end. And that's still not a lot of time to really get into the depths of it. And, with responsible, ethical, true crime podcasting, we really do want to look at the case from all angles. Sometimes there's a case where there is police incompetency. That really is a factor. But there's also many more scenarios where there just wasn't enough to get the answers we needed from the evidence that was at hand. Or there may have been a lot of evidence. The investigators may have said in no uncertain terms that they have an idea of what happened, but it wasn't enough to bring it to trial and to close the case and to get a conviction. And like the concept of trial innocence and trial guilt and, was the case strong enough to get a conviction is not always the same as did this person actually do it? And, we're seeing exonerations. And so all of that to say, there's a responsibility on a true crime creator to, talk about that nuance. Sometimes there's an instance where there's police incompetency or failed work or corruption or whatever, but more often than not, it is just that these things take time and it's layered and there's financial considerations and expertise and just some things that aren't available to certain investigations. So that's something that I, balance in every case that I cover, particularly unsolved cases where the uproar, when the episode comes out and the audience is able to draw their own conclusions from the information presented, and you share in their frustration, and certainly the family's frustration above all is what matters, is that they don't have answers. It's really, that's the burden of the content creator, of the storyteller, to examine it all, to present it. And it's part of it is that frustration that comes when there isn't a clear-cut answer like there is at the end of a true crime drama.
Yeah. I think there are plenty of cases where, and please don't think that I'm saying that Endus or CODIS is not useful. CODIS has more investigations aided than any other single technology that we've ever used. Let's see, 656,893 investigations aided as of the last time I checked.
Wow.
I mean, that's a lot of cases that CODIS has helped, but you can do everything right, collect the right evidence, do the right testing, get a good STR profile and put it in there. And if there's nothing to compare it to, you're only as good as your database. If there's no hit in CODIS before the Golden State Killer, you were stuck. That was it. You just had to wait. Wait and hope that this person got arrested for something else. Hope that they collected his DNA, hope that it was in a state where they collected the DNA for arrestees, and that person's profile made it into in this via CODIS kind of a thing eventually. But now I think, we're starting to see and really apply that we can do more. And so I think a lot of the frustration can be alleviated, that as long as there's some DNA left over after you get a good STR profile, and there are people that will disagree with me on that anyway, but I would get an STR right now. Let's get an STR profile first, because that's the gold standard. That's what you're gonna have to compare to at the end. But if there's no hit in CODIS, let's take that next step. Do genetic genealogy, cast a wider net. See if you can in a case where there's no suspects, no leads, and you've got DNA. There's no reason not to go forward. The only reason not to go forward would be pretty much financial and technical limitations. Like, it is absolutely possible to go ahead and go forward with genetic genealogy. So Um,